Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome to What's Chemistry. Friends, in today's lecture, we will start biochemistry. Alright. Now, what is biochemistry? Biochemistry is the chemistry of life, and you can define it as study of chemical reactions taking place in living organisms. So it is the simple definition of biochemistry, that study of chemical reactions taking place in living organisms. So there are 5 major foundations that we study in biochemistry. These 5 foundations are cellular foundation, number 2 chemical foundation, number 3 physical foundation, number 4 genetic foundation, and number 5 is evolutionary foundation. And in this lecture we will discuss the cellular foundation. So friends, now we are going to start cellular foundation. And as we all know that cell is the fundamental unit of life, or we can say that living organisms. And if we divide the organisms into 2 parts, number 1 is smallest organisms, and number 2 is larger organisms. Alright, now what are smallest organisms? Smallest organisms are single-celled organisms. Alright, they contain single cells and they are microscopic. Alright, if we discuss the larger organisms, so larger organisms, as you know, that they are multicellular. Alright, and there are different types of cells which vary in size, shape, and functions. So these are some obvious differences between the different cells, and despite all these obvious differences, there are some fundamental properties which are same in almost all the cells. So friends, Cells are the structural and functional units of almost all the living organisms, and the first thing that belong to the cell is the plasma membrane. Plasma membrane. So friends, plasma membrane defines the periphery of the cell, alright? And what is the function of plasma membrane? Plasma membrane separates the contents of cells from its surroundings. And if we talk about its composition, so the plasma membrane is composed of lipid and protein molecules. Composed of lipids and protein molecules, which form a thin, tough, liable and hydrophobic barrier around the cell. So it is the composition of plasma membrane that it is composed of lipids and protein molecules. And if we talk about the flexibility of plasma membrane, so it is remarkably flexible. Now the question arises that why the plasma membrane is remarkably flexible. The reason is that the lipids and protein molecules which form the plasma membrane are not covalently linked. That's why the plasma membrane is remarkably flexible. And as we know that when a cell grows, the newly formed lipid and protein molecules are inserted into its plasma membrane. And if we talk about cell division, what is cell division? Cell division means division of a cell into its new daughter cells. And if we talk about the newly formed daughter cells, both of the cells have its own plasma membrane. So friends, after discussing the plasma membrane, now we are going to discuss the cytoplasm. Alright, first I would like to discuss its composition. Cytoplasm is composed of an aqueous solution called as cytosol. Alright. Cytoplasm is composed of an aqueous solution called cytosol and some other suspended particles which perform particular functions. So it was the composition of cytoplasm. Now I would like to discuss the cytosol. What is cytosol? Cytosol is a highly concentrated solution alright, and definitely it is in liquid form, alright, and it contains enzymes and RNA molecules. Then it contains amino acids and nucleotides. Then it contains small organic molecules which are called as metabolites. Then it contains some inorganic ions as well, some coenzymes, and the main thing, which is ribosomes. Now, what are ribosomes? Ribosomes are the sites of protein synthesis. And ribosomes are the small particles composed of RNA and protein molecules. So that was all about cytoplasm. So friends, after discussing the cytoplasm, now I am moving towards the nucleus or nucleoid. Alright. So what is the function of nucleus or what it contains? Actually, the genome is stored and replicated in the nucleus. Now, what is genome? Genome is a complete set of genes, alright? Genome means set of genes. Now, what's the difference between nucleus and nucleoid? If we talk about the nucleus, so nucleus is present in higher organisms. And it is bounded by a double membrane, all right. Or you can say that a nuclear envelope is all around the nucleus, all right. So we can say that the contents of the nucleus are separated from the rest of the cell because of the nuclear envelope, all right. If we talk about the nucleoid, so nucleoid is present in bacterial cell and it is not covered by any membrane, all right. It has no any nuclear envelope and its contents are, you can say, freely dispersed in the cell. So friends, there are two terms which we study regarding to the nucleus or nucleoid, or we can say that there are two terminologies which are eukaryote and prokaryote. Now, what are prokaryotes? You can say that the cells without nuclear envelopes. All right, the cells without nuclear envelopes, for instance the bacterial cells. All right, and what are eukaryotes? The cells with nuclear envelope. So that's all about nucleus or nucleoid. So friends, now we will discuss the three domains of life, or you can also use the term dominion. All right. So there are three domains of life which are archaea, bacteria and eukarya. All right. Archaea and bacteria are prokaryotic organisms. All right. And they are single-celled organisms. And their cells have no nucleus. If we talk about eukarya, so all the life, all right, all the life that has membrane bound nucleus, and you can say that they are multicellular organisms. So friends, archaea and bacteria can be distinguished by the habitats in which they live. And we can divide these habitats as aerobic and anaerobic. What is aerobic? Aerobic means where there is plentiful supply of oxygen. And what is anaerobic? Anaerobic means without oxygen. And there is a type of anaerobic organisms which are died when they are exposed to oxygen, and that type of anaerobic environment is called as obligate anaerobic. Obligate anaerobics. These are the organisms which are died when they are exposed to oxygen. So friends, all such organisms can also be distinguished on the basis of how they get energy and carbon for synthesizing the cellular material. So we can divide all organisms as the two major types: phototrophs and chemotrophs. Chemotrophs. What are phototrophs? As the name suggests, phototrophs are those organisms which get energy from sunlight. And what are chemotrophs? Chemotrophs are those organisms which derive their energy from chemical compounds, or we can say that from oxidation of fuels. There are two further types of phototrophs. These are autotrophs and heterotrophs. Autotrophs obtain all needed carbon from carbon dioxide and examples of autotrophs are cyanobacteria, and plants, etc. If we talk about heterotrophs, heterotrophs obtain all needed carbon from organic nutrients. And examples of heterotrophs are purple and green bacteria. Purple bacteria and green bacteria. There are also two further types of chemotrophs, which are lithotrophs and organotrophs. What are lithotrophs? Lithotrophs are those which get their energy from inorganic compounds. And examples of lithotrophs are sulfur bacteria and hydrogen bacteria. And what are organotrophs? Organotrophs are those which obtain their energy from organic compounds. As its name suggests, obtain energy from organic compounds. And examples of such chemotrophs are most eukaryotes. Most eukaryotes. And friends, if we talk about the word troph, troph is a Greek word which means nourishment. So I think all such discussion is enough about the cellular foundation, and I assume that you liked this lecture. For more important chemistry lectures and videos, subscribe to our channel What's Chemistry on YouTube and press the bell icon. Thank you.